Hello everyone, this is a video on reproduction in organism, chapter 1 of biology book CBSE, part 7. In my previous videos, I explained about reproduction and gave details about sexual and asexual reproduction. In this video, I will explain about the stages in life cycle of an organism. There are 3 stages in life cycle of every organism. The first one is juvenile phase or vegetative phase. It is the stage from the birth till an organism reaches its sexual maturity. Usually, there is a difference in appearance of organism in its juvenile and adult phase. That is, sometimes some plants have different structure of leaves in juvenile and different structure of leaves in their adulthood. Likewise, feathers of birds are different in their childhood and their maturity stage. Here in the above picture, you can see the baby eagles in their juvenile phase. Their feather color is white. While in the next picture, you can see an adult eagle whose maximum feathers are black. Thus, the organism have different structure in juvenile phase as compared to their maturity stage. The second stage is the reproductive phase, in which an organism reproduces. The period of gaining sexual maturity is known as puberty. The reproductive phase of the plant divides them into 2 groups, that is, monocarpic and polycarpic. Monocarpic are those plants which flower only once in their life and then die after their flowering season, leaving a fruit, while the polycarpic are those flowers which gives flower more than one time in their life cycle. Monocarpic flowers are usually annual and biennial plants. Annual plants are those plants which live only for 1 year, while biennial plants are those plants which live for 2 years. Polycarpic plants are usually perennial. Perennial plants are those plants which live for more than 2 years. The reproductive phase also divides animals into 2 categories, that is, seasonal and continuous breeders. The seasonal breeders reproduces only at a particular period of the year, while continuous breeders may reproduce at any time during the year. In mammals, the females have placenta. Placenta is a tissue which helps to nourish the embryo in the womb. This placenta is produced by the inner lining of the womb. In such animals, a cycle goes in females in which there are changes in ovaries, accessory reproductive ducts and hormones. On the basis of this cycle, the placental animals can be divided into 2 categories. First, which bear menstrual cycle, and the second ones which bears estrous cycle. In menstrual cycle, if fertilization does not take place, then the inner lining of the womb break down and come out of the body. While in the estrous cycle, if fertilization does not take place, the inner lining of the womb is reabsorbed. In estrous cycle, due to high levels of hormones, there is a strong urge of sex. Here there are 2 graphs. The above graph is of estrous cycle in cattle and the second graph is of menstrual cycle in human beings. Both the graphs shows the change in the level of hormones according to the days. In the above graph, you can see that the LH level is at the peak at the end of the cycle, while in the second graph, you can see that the level of LH is at the peak during the middle of the menstrual cycle. The last stage of every organism is the senescent phase. In this stage, the organism loses its capability to reproduce and degradation of body starts taking place. Ultimately, the organism dies. Hormone levels play important role in all the three phases. The reproduction of an organism depends on hormones, as in the reproductive phase the hormones are at the peak level and regulate the major functioning of the reproductive organs. In this diagram, we can see the three phases in a life cycle of the plant. This picture shows the three phases of life cycle of an human being. The childhood is the vegetative or juvenile phase of the human beings, while the adolescence and the adulthood are the reproductive phase of an human being, and the old person or the old age is the senescent phase. Sexuality means the gender of an organism. On the basis of gametes, we can divide organism into homothallic and heterothallic. In homothallic, the gametes are totally same and produced by the same organism, while in heterothallic, the gametes are also same but produced by two different organisms. Hermaphrodite are those plants which bear both male and female organs on the same flower. But in other types of plants, there are two different types of flower. Staminate flower, which bears male organs, and pistillate flower, which bears female organs. On the basis of this, we can divide the plants into two categories, that is, dioecious and monoecious flowers or plants. In dioecious plants, the male and the female flower are found on different plants, while in monoecious plant, the male and the female flower are found on the same plant. In this picture, you can see a dioecious plant in which one plant is having male flowers that are in blue color and the other plant is having female flowers that are in pink color. Next, you can see hermaphrodite plant in which both the male and the female organ are present on the same flower. Then you can see a monoecious plant in which the same plant have the male and the female flowers. The male flowers are the blue ones and the female flowers are the pink ones. In this picture, the above picture shows a staminate flower and a pistillate flower. The staminate flower has the male organs that are anthers, and the female flower has the female organ that is the carpel or the pistil. Then in the below diagram you can see bisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers contains both the pistil and the stamen.